Hello and Happy New Year, Southland Division. I'm Jay Brad Britton, your division manager, and I recognize that many of you are new. We just had launched a good group of people across the the Southland Division. We have about 100 new people on the team. So welcome to you. And what I do each week is kind of share some information, positive news, promote something that's coming up. And so I'm going to start by sharing my screen and talking about what happened last week in sales in the Southland Division. Since most of you are new, I'll explain that we have two different kinds of reps that I typically recognize here. First kind of rep is called a CSP. CSP stands for Cutco Sales Professional. This is a level that someone can actually reach. There's some qualifications to do this. Usually it takes a year or two, or even 3 or 4 years to become a Cutco sales professional. But these are career salespeople that may not be with Cutco forever, but have been with us for several years and are earning a full-time, very lucrative income. As you can see, the career sales, Michael Master has $3.8 million in sales, and Connor has $2 million, and Nate Ferrer has $1.5 million, and Kareem Elterwanzi has almost $3 million, et cetera. So last week, Michael LeMaster led the way in the Southland Division with 20 orders, and he had a total of $15,000 in sales. To put this in perspective, all these CSPs, they all make 50% commission. So Michael made a little over $7,000, almost $8,000 last week. Okay. So just to give you some perspective on why these people are career sales professionals, right? Connor was over 9,000 in sales, Nate 8,000, Kareem 6, Ruben 3,600, Dorothy 3,400, and then Leah at 3,300. Okay. We also have this other non-CSP reps. These are people, usually it's people who've started in the last 1 to 2 years. Maybe they're full-time college students, like Ben Cooper, for example. Ben Cooper is an FSM, so he's at 45% commission. He's at just over 100,000 in sales on his way to his senior FSM at 50% commission. And so he had 4 orders for $3,300. Okay, the average order size was $800 for the week, so a good solid average order size. Ben's a student at UCLA. So just to give you an idea. Seth here, a little over $3,000 advanced sales rep, which means he's brand new. This is his first weekend from the North Orange County office, as you see there. 9 orders, good solid first weekend, working hard. So that's basically Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So 4 days, 9 orders. Eduardo DeMarcos, West LA, with 5 orders for $2,600. Stuart Nato, he's an FSM, just only 2 orders, but $2,500. So nice average order size you see there. Anthony Hayes, district manager in Santa Monica, up here with a couple of grand in sales. Loic, we love Loic in West LA. Loic's at 58,000 in sales now, a couple of $1,000s on 2 orders for the week. Brandon Brown, not the Brandon Brown who's kind of Vector famous, but Brandon Brown Brandon Brown in Santa Monica, a couple of orders for $1,900. Tommy in Santa Monica, 4 orders, $1,900. Ryan Black, Andre Lagarosa, Trino Ariano, senior FSM. Tamara Nguyen, or Tam Tam, we like to call her. Chelsea Brown, Dexter, Moises, Rachel, Joseph, Josh, Susie, and Anthony, all over 1,000. Okay, so you see these that say SR. These means these are sales reps. So most of these people here, the vast majority are brand new, just got started. This represents really only 4 days. We had lots of other people with orders for the week. I love it seeing anything over 4 orders. I love seeing it. Good job, Grace. Good job, Vivian. Good job, Sally. Good job, Francine. Good job, Patrick. Ganir, nice work. Eli. 4 orders is like the number that I love to see. Lots of people with 1 order. These might be people who just got started and only did a few demos. Maybe it's people who, weren't even working. It was a week between Christmas and New Year. Maybe they were taking that week off and they just had an old customer call them up and buy something. Who knows? We had 301 total orders. We had 110,000 in sales for the week. That's a $366 average order size. So to put in perspective, for those of you that are kind of new, most people don't work this math very often, but if someone gets 4 orders a week, that's why I like that 4 number. 4 orders a week at our average order size last week, which was $366. That means they sell about $1,400 a week, and they're going to sell about $76,000 in a year. Okay, so just to put that in a little bit of understanding, so 4 orders a week, super part-time work, about 7 demos, 4 orders, and $76,000 a year. Let's just round it down to 70 even. And that's only 50 weeks in the year, by the way. That's giving you 2 weeks off to go to Cancun on vacation because I like it. So, you're looking at $30,000, $35,000 a year. It's about what the average college student makes in the United States after graduation in the first couple of years when they get their first job. And we can do this without a college degree, and we could do it with working only basically weekends. Someone could literally just work weekends only and make an extra $30,000, $35,000 a year getting 4 orders. Seven orders is more of a part-time. 4 orders is super part-time. That's barely even working. 7 orders is more like 15 hours a week, something like that. 10, 12, 13 demos a week maybe. That's 133,000 a year based on our last week's average order size. Now, this average order size last week is a little bigger than normal, but that's just what we're using for this week. But $130,000 in sales a year, this is a $60,000 to $70,000 a year income. So it's a good, solid income working part-time. We say if you do this job right, you can work part-time and earn a full-time income. That's why we have a lot of students that can earn a full-time income while just working part-time and being full-time in school. 10 orders, this is getting closer, 10 to 15 orders. These are more full-time type of work. 10 orders a week with our last week's average is almost $200,000 a year. So it's about an $80,000 to $90,000 a year job. 15 orders a week is over almost $300,000 in sales. So 15 orders in a week, which is definitely a full-time work. To do that consistently, someone's working full-time, 15 orders a week, is about $120,000 to $150,000 in income in a year. Okay, with lots of flexibility, and plus at this level you win a bunch of company trips, and you get to go to all kinds of really cool events on the company. So pretty cool. I wanted to talk about what's going on the newsletter. Many of you in your offices will look at this newsletter here this week. So first thing it promotes on the weekly newsletter, this is on your Vector Connect. You can find this on your Vector Connect. Your manager can show you how. There's a conference coming up. If you haven't heard about this conference coming up on July 24th and 25th, if you want to earn those income numbers that I was mentioning earlier, one way to make sure that happens is to be at the conferences so that you can get the knowledge to increase your learning curve, speed up your learning curve very, very quickly. So we have a conference. For us, it's great because we're here in Southland. This is in LA. It's in our territory. There are people that fly from Washington and fly from Alaska and fly from Hawaii, drive from Vegas, all over, they fly down from Sacramento, all over the Western region. They come to this conference. For us, it's pretty easy. We just kind of drive up there. Okay. So we save on time and expense in travel to get to the conference. But the conference has a cost. You see, it does have a cost. It's $299. What's cool is you can actually qualify to go for free, and I'll talk about that here in just a minute. Most people just qualify by selling a few conference orders for free. Selling a few conference orders to qualify to go for free. What this basically means is, and I'll explain it right here, they're free with just 4 conference orders. In your office, you might print out one of these. This is basically a sign-up form for the conference. But when you sell a conference order, and all a conference order, it means it is one of a few items, and I'll look at the very last page here and I'll show you. A Sentoku knife, a slicer, a butcher knife, petite carver, or super shears. You sell any one of those items, what happens is you get $75 commission on any of those items. So you sell a pair of super shears, which is just over $100, you get a $75 commission to cover the cost of the conference on any of these. So you sell one of any of these, just make sure you tell your manager when you sell one. That way we can make a special note to our sales promotion people in our region office. And what they'll do is they'll take the commission, normal commission, and they'll bump it up to $75. So normally maybe you would have only made $20, let's say, on a commission on that if you're 20% of a $100 sale. Well, you would get 75 instead of just 20, and they would just apply that to the cost of the conference. Okay, so going for free. Or you could just sell one basic galley set. So if you've got a friend who wants to buy some Cutco and they want to buy a set, sell them a basic galley set. And you can't get anything for free on the basic galley set, but if you sell them at retail, they'll qualify you to go to the conference, and you don't have to worry about selling 4 of the individual orders. Anyway, that conference is happening. It is awesome, and you will learn from the best of the best. And you just got to trust me that it's the best possible thing you could be doing on the weekend, January 24th and 25th. And we do have the Vector Conference Guarantee. If the training, inspiration, overall experience you gain from this conference, you don't feel like it's worth the price of the admission, all you do is ask for a refund, and it's done. Okay. And in 30-something years, I've had exactly 0 people, say that they didn't feel like it was worth their time and money to be there. So I'm pretty confident. Anyway, and you can set a goal for the push. Your manager can talk to you about that. I want to talk about the top offices real quick. It took $3,800, by the way, to be in the top 15 here. NOC office has had the most key staff business. That's super positive. But West LA, Santa Monica, Downey, as has happened most of this year, the top 3 offices in the entire region. Love to see that. Southland Division, not only were we number 1, we almost doubled the number 2 division. So really good work. All you guys in the pilot office in North Orange County led the way. So really good stuff there. I talked about the conference. I talked about this. Here's what I'm going to have you do. I want to have you share a little bit. And I want, since it is a new year, I want to give you guys an opportunity to share in groups of 2 or 3 in your office. You guys can decide how you want to do it. And here's the questions that I want you to answer. I'm going to give you a choice of 2 questions. Okay, reflecting. Okay, this time of year is about looking forward about the new year, but it's also a time of reflection, right? January, the month of January, is named after the the Roman god in Roman mythology, Janus. Okay, Janus is where they got the name, and Janus was the god of gateways, the god of beginnings and endings. And you would see a picture. It's a guy that had a face on the front of his head and a face on the back of his head. Okay, so he was looking forward and looking backward at the same time. And this was they often put like a statue of this Roman god Janus. They'd put him at the entrance to buildings or entrance to cities where they had gates and things like that. So there's reflection, and then there's looking forward. I'm going to talk about reflection just to think about last year, and then you and your offices can talk about the future. But I want you to think about 2019. Think about the year, and I want you to answer either one of these two questions. Okay, and you can jot down notes on this if you like. In fact, it's probably better to take 2 or 3 minutes to jot down a couple of ideas. One question you can choose to answer is, what was a time in the last year that I felt really, really proud? Okay, that I felt like I was really proud of something that I had accomplished. Maybe it was something that it was a sporting event, okay, a part of high school sports or something. Maybe it was a test or a class that you made a grade in that was difficult. Maybe if you've been in Vector for a while, maybe you won one of the push conference trophies or something like that at one of our conferences. But just a time, doesn't have to be the most proud, but a time this year when you felt really, really proud. Okay, that's the one question. Or you can answer a question: what's an important lesson that I learned, or that you learned in 2019? Something that you learned, and it may be you learned a lesson while going through one of the accomplishing something big, but something that you learned that really you believe has impacted your life. Okay, so a proud moment, accomplishment, or something that you've really learned. Okay, so identify what that is, and jot down a couple of bullet points on what it is, so you can share it with the person next to you. And what you're going to do is get in groups of 2 people and just share what it is. Okay, one person's going to share the answer to their question, and the other person will share the answer to their question. Okay, but before you let the second person go, you have to add on something. Okay, and that is this: how has it made you a better person? Okay, how has it made you better because of this? So what did you accomplish? And then why are you a better person because of what you accomplished? Okay, and then the other thing is, what did you learn? And then why are you a better person because of what you learned? And hopefully it'll have to do with or how you're implementing, or how you've improved yourself based on this thing that you've learned. Okay, so accomplishment or a lesson, and then why are you a better person because of this? Okay, so take about 4 or 5 minutes per group of 2 or 3, depending on if you have 9 people. If you have 9 people at your meeting, then do groups of 3 to make it easier. Managers, you guys can get involved in this too. Assistant managers, certainly. And then just take a few minutes to answer that question, and then you can move on with your meeting. Okay, just want to give you a chance to do some reflection and think about the past, so that we can not repeat mistakes that we made in the past. We can look to the future and be better. That's what one of the main things that being part of Vector is all about. All right, have a fabulous meeting, and look forward to seeing many of you in the near future. I'm going to be visiting a few offices in the next couple of months, but I'll see almost all of you probably at the kickoff conference on January 24th and 25th. Have an amazing day. Take care.